Hello, everybody. I've been talking to my friend Gary. Gary lives in London, and actually, you're almost making me laugh. Gary, you're out today in the
Hello.
shops.
Yeah, Karen. I was down the shops and I've got such a funny story to tell you. I go out once a day for a little bit of exercise, like they tell you allowed to do. Which, because I live in sheltered housing, like, and I've got sort of like arthritis and half a foot. I was thinking of changing my name to half a foot. That's another story. Anyway, I come out my sheltered housing with a little bit of exercise, and I use like the Wi-Fi from my local sort of like shopping centre. And I thought, I know what I'll do. I will pop down to Sainsbury's to just get a couple of little bits. So I don't need any loo roll. Like, I've got about 40 odd rolls, so I'm okay
You're
on that
stocked
score.
up, are you?
So anyway, so yeah, but the thing is, they're useless. Like they don't last. They've met last 71 times. Like they last about half a dozen times. They're so thin, but that's another story. Anyway,
Carry on.
I see there's a nice big queue there, like, so I thought, well, I'll get on the queue, like, and then I got behind some bloke, and he turned around to me and he goes, you're not 2 metres away, and I just said, what? He said, you're not 2 metres away, and I turned around and said, well, I'll tell you what, mate, if you believe all that claptrap, like, I said, you're living in cloud cuckoo land. I said, I'll tell you what we'll do, like, next time you come, like, bring a tape measure, like, and you can measure it exactly. I said, just get on with it. And he just looks at me like a vague look, like all these bleeding
Yeah, that's
people
because
do. Like,
I rang you up. I sent you that link to the person that was talking about the fact that our society was being made narcissistic. And
and
that was what your
just
answer
halfway.
was, wasn't it? That was your answer.
Yeah, exactly. And the strangest thing is, I was just halfway through that video, and I'm just sitting there listening to it, and that's when you sort of like you phoned up, but and then I started thinking about other things. I thought, I'm not having that. I thought, well, everyone's going around sort of like touching things, and like they're going up to the fruit and veg part, and they're sort of like picking up sort of like this veg, and I don't want that. I'm putting it down. So I thought, where do you draw the line with this thing?
Yeah, because yeah.
So, you're touching things. So I think I'm just going to do a little experiment. I'll let you know how I get on because it's down the road. So I'm not going back today. But when I see a woman like I did just now, like touching things, I'm going to say, madam, you're going to have to sort of like buy that. And when she turns around and says to me, what do you mean? I'll say, well, so you touched it. And then I'm going to go to the store manager and I'm going to say, a woman over there just touched some veg and never bought it. You've got to take it on the shelf now. And if he questions me, I'm going to say, well, she touched it.
I know, because what it is the people are not thinking. That's the point of why I asked you to go to this hangout.
Exactly.
Because they're just not thinking.
And this is why it's so ridiculous. And I see other people like walking around with masks on and with gloves on and one thing and another. This was what we're told it is, which we know it isn't anyway. We know it's absolute rubbish. It's like it's a complete like fallacy. It would be living on everything. They're trying to tell us like, it lives on some things and not others, and people are actually just taking it in, and it's absolutely
I was trying
ludicrous.
to tell my son yesterday because he was going. My sons, I did a bit of cleaning for them, and I went to give them a hug, and they said, "Oh no, you know what the coronavirus thing is." And I said, "Oh, for God's sake!" So what it is it goes in their head. Well, I might, or you might give me, or I might give you, and I'm thinking, oh my God.
Well, Karen, people since years that have been watching televised television, like, and then they believe it all. And I'm one of the very few truthers that sort of like watch it, because for me it can't hurt me anymore. Like I've been through in my life, and I know that it's all rubbish. And to be honest with you, I just think it was like a big comedy show. It's great. I love it because I just watch it and I just think to myself, I just decipher it. And then when I watch things, I think to myself, it's just like one big comedy show, and people can't see it. And like I said, this thing about like being 2 meters away and one thing and another. But then I just went into Sainsbury's, and none of the sort of like the people on the tills like are wearing gloves or anything. So they're touching all your food. All right, it's meant to live on like on paper. So anything you got as paper, like cardboard, anything like that, it's going to live on it. And this is where it's so absolutely hilarious and ludicrous, because if only people were to actually think about what's happening, but they don't. They've given their authority to sort of like second and third parties and let them think for them. And this is where the problem is. People don't think for themselves anymore.
Well, we're not supposed to, remember, we're in a boot camp. I have said this many times before. It's like they haven't told we're in a boot camp. But you know what's missing? You know, like when Boris and all that go out and speak, they're not talking, you know, surely there should be more of a strategy. All they're talking about is the NHS, the burden on the NHS. You know, there should be more, like, you should be talking about the economy and everything.
Everything else, it's just that. The strangest thing is, I tried to get onto that NHS helpline thing this morning, like, you know, for volunteers, like helping. And every time I try to do it, I mean, I haven't got this
As far as I can tell, the hospitals are empty. I mean, in Italy, I showed one empty. I went to one last week. It was empty. There's hardly anybody in there.
Maybe it was just me. When I tried to do it, it just kept on not going through at the end. And they said now there's about 400,000 volunteers, which it might very well be, because listen, I know they do a wonderful job ordinarily. I mean, they saved my life. You know, I had a motorcycle accident, you know, sort of like 20 odd years ago. So, you know, all praise to the NHS, whatever happens. But, you know, I think to myself, I wonder if it's like volunteering website is for real. I don't know what to believe anymore, Karen, to be honest with you.
I mean, you know what? They're advertising on the television that like millions of phone connections have shut off. I think that was them. Either they were shutting down the area, or it was just part of the hype. They could say 24 trillion if you like. No one listens properly, so the numbers don't matter. And they go on and on. It's got to be millions, trillions. You know, like the sun is 93 million miles away. The moon is 260,000 miles away. You cannot grasp in your mind that distance and that amount of money.
What we always say, Cam, what I always say to you, halve it or double it, like, you know, or completely reverse it.
Well, I was thinking with the sun, it was 9.3 and the moon was 2.6 or something.
Yeah. Well, what about that video I sent you the other day that my mate sent me? He's not a waiting nice, but he's great because he's forever now. He's a black cab driver and he's forever sort of like sending me his little videos, and he sent me that absolute.
This video was sent on WhatsApp, and it's taken me masses of time to get it onto Facebook and try and upload it. And I tried about 7-8 times to record this video. I'm sorry about the little sticks, but I think that you get the general idea about what he's talking about. Sorry about my broken phone, by the way. It's a bit phallic, sorry. Hello everybody, I've got my mobile phone up here. It's been quite difficult. My phone is broken, by the way, so sorry about this part, but it's this video I want you to see.
I'm here at Exile in central London, just here making a new makeshift hospital. Currently making up cables for it, but I didn't take this virus to be set very, very seriously until, you know, saw this morning. I come in, and this is the size of the hall. This is where it's all going. We've got 4,000 beds to go in, sorry. 2 morgues. This hall is 1 kilometre long, you know, and there's a hall out on the other side as well. Not sure what's happening there. I just want to keep you all updated, and if you're not taking it seriously like I wasn't, I think we really need to start, because they're preparing for an absolute high death toll here, you know. So there we go. Exile, London. Welcome to NHS Nightingale.
Yeah, so there you are.
Absolute view of the Excel Centre, which they meant to sort of like in East London, which they meant to be sort of like turning into sort of like beds and one thing and another. And the guy was in there and he said, look, he said, anyone that doubts that this is happening, look around. But what did we see? We didn't see any beds. All we see is like him. He said, I'm an electrician, like I'm doing some wiring up here now. The thing is, it's
that guy there. You mean in that thing that was about a mile long?
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's the Excel Centre.
Sorry, just to explain to people who haven't seen it. This guy came on, he's an electrician. Yeah. He's been sent to these buildings. It was 1 kilometre long.
It's called the Excel Centre in East London.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's been asked to go in because, you know, the size of it, they could fit thousands of people in there.
But the thing is, I said to Karen, I said, I used to deliver there back in the day, like, and I said the place is like like an absolute sweat house.
I might try and film it, even if I have to do it off my. I don't know how to do it. I might see if I can film it and put it on here to show that one. It's a huge, great building. Or I can put a picture of it on, can't I?
It's another magician's trick, isn't it? You know, you're not actually seeing the beds in there.
No, but it's that thing that's going in people's mind. Oh my God! Look, thousands of people are turning up. What are they going to tell everybody at the end when no one went to hospital and no building was used?
Would you know? Do you know something? I was watching like some stuff from stateside, and they said even some doctors over there now, nurses and all that, are starting to question things because they're all turning up expecting all these people, raft of people coming in one after the other, like for coronavirus, and all they're doing is sending them home and telling them to phone up the helpline, and like there's actually no one in the hospital, and people that do need treatment, like at the moment. Brian Staley's quite ill, and he went to his doctors for some treatment, and he got turned away. And they said, why? They said, well, we're just treating coronavirus patients, and there's no one in there. You know, this is where it's absolutely ludicrous.
I just, please, everybody. I mean, a lot of people on Unscrambled and that will be awake anyway, but please, everybody, wake up.
Wake up. And you know something, I'll just keep on going, Karen. Every time someone questions me about it, because like I said, this is only the tip of the iceberg, but I was speaking to, do you know what I like speaking to? Because I'm 60 years old myself. He's like people older than me, like I lived through the war and one thing and another, and I was on the bus the other day with 3 other people, and all the points we just mentioned, they all picked up on them. They straight away. You know, because you're thinking logically, and you just think to yourself, well, hang on a minute, everyone's going around touching everything anyway.
Honestly, that is just ridiculous. Oh, and what was the other bit you said? You said that these girls, everybody's having their nails done. They're having their nails done and things like this, and their haircuts. So that man's touching that person. So that's why they're trying to stop everybody, isn't it, though? But you can't.
Well, I said, like, you know, I've got a couple of tattoos myself, like, you know, and I think about having another tattoo. I mean, I don't think a tattoo is ever going to work again. You know, well, not with the sheeples anyway. They're not going to get any work out of them. I mean, and it's like that. I still see like nail bars open, like, and hairdressers and stuff like that. And I mean, I used to like to massage myself, like, you know, I've got bad arthritis, and it used to be great. I mean, is that all going to stop now? It's hand to hand, you know, someone's hands touching your body and all that, and it's just absolutely ludicrous. But like I said, I'm going to start picking up on things, and when people say things to me, I'm going to have sort of like answers ready for them. I mean, I sorted out that bloke. Well, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to take out a tape measure. When I see them in line, when I see a line, I'll tell you what, I'll take a photograph of it, and then you can put it on. I'm going to measure the person. I'm going to do it exactly like 2 meters. And if they come any nearer, and I'll say, oh, you're not 2 meters, mate.
I'm just going to breathe on you now, Gary.
Yeah.
I'll just breathe on you.
Oh my God, yeah. That's the next thing. It's going to start going through the ether, like through the internet and through people's phones. The next thing they're going to turn around and say, "Oh no, you're not allowed to make. You know, you're talking to someone. There's an electronic way of."
I mean, the whole point of coming on was the fact that you was just talking about the fact that people were touching the food, which is ridiculous. But there's a big rumour going round. There's a big rumour going round that they might turn everything off. Was it the 1st of April to the 12th of April or something?
Well, do you know something? I mean, it wasn't even me that picks up on it. My mate Ken, where I lived in my sheltered housing, I was on the phone to him, like, and he said to me, "I've got some food for you, girl, that's going it's a little bit out of date." And I said, "That's all right, Ken, because he's got a bit of dementia, like, and he forgets he's bought it." So I said, "On the way back, I'll get it." And he said, "Here, girl," he said, "you know about these things." He said, "Oh, when I was in Sainsbury's, people were going around touching food and putting it back." I said, "Exactly, Ken." And I just suddenly thought. And just when he said that, I see a woman done it, and I didn't want to upset her. Actually, you know, I was going to say to him.
I know, because we're not thinking. You need to get your brain, and you need to have all this stuff sitting in your brain so that you don't forget, because you just don't think about all these things all the time.
That blinking that melon light that sort of like told me I was too close to him in the queue. He was right there, and I thought, you know something? I was about to turn around and say, "Here, mate, she just touched that food light. You know, you better go and tell the
maybe what you should have done was, what are everybody? That woman just touched the food. Everybody, get out of here."
Yeah. Well, you know something? I might do that. I mean, the thing is,
can you imagine the whole shop would run out?
You know what I might try and do? I might try and get one of my friends to come down. I'm trying to think who else I live around here like this one of us. Probably not up here, but I'm going to try and get somebody to come up. I don't know, maybe Cosmic Cat or something, or she lives too far now, but I'll try and get someone to come up to film me. I'm going to go in the supermarket and I say, well, follow me around. As soon as I see this happen, I'm going to go, oh, I'm going to throw up my walking stick in the air. I'm going to say, where's the manager? Where's the manager? Quick, come over here. Look, this woman's touched all this food here. It's got to be all it's contaminated now. Get rid of it all. You know, and we'll get it to go viral. You know what I mean? So I just try and think of someone to get up here. Like, we'll have a laugh and joke about it.
Yeah. Was that all you wanted to say, Gary? Is there anything else you'd like to add? Because you didn't realise you were going on it's a hangout, isn't it?
No, I didn't. Well, I don't know. I'm always talking, and it's shutting me up. That's the problem. No, I mean, I was just saying, like, you know, how absolutely ridiculous it all is when you actually think about it logically. You know, like, I know this is my guilty pleasure, Karen, is I still like. Don't tell anyone I know, and they're going to know about it now. I still watch Star Trek. Don't ask me why. Ever since, because when I was a kid, like, I used to watch it, and like Mr. Spock always says, it's logical, Captain Kirk. It's logical, and then it's illogical the other way. It's logical. What people are doing, it's illogical. When you think about it seriously, it's all illogical because it doesn't make any sense. You've only got to use your own sort of like reasoning, your own reasoning power to realise that what's actually happening is rubbish, because it's in snippets. They tell you to do this, but not that. They tell you to do this and not that. And it's just... I
know, but some people are doing all this, self-isolating stuff, and I'm just like, wow. I mean, I'm only in here because I'm used to being at home a lot, and I don't have any money because I've lost all my jobs one by one.
Yeah, I know that.
But I'm used to being at home. But I went out yesterday and I went cleaning. But I'm not worried. If I have to go out, I'm going out. But I haven't really got any money at the moment, so there's no point going out. But some people are definitely staying at home because, I mean, I'm falling into what they want you to do, but they're staying at home for the virus. I'm not. I'm just staying home because I've been doing it for a long time.
Oh, Karen, you know that I'm a born joker, like, you know, and I'll send you all these funny things. I just thought of something like yesterday or the day before. I thought, can you imagine some poor woman or bloke now that suffers some really bad OCD on cleaning their hands? Do you imagine that? They used to clean them before, like, about 30 times a day. Now it's suddenly gone up to about 500 times.
Yeah.
Their hands must be red raw.
And don't forget, they're having those plastic. They're going to have those plastic things in the shops now, so that the till people have got a plastic. As if that's going to make any difference.
I know, but I was just thinking about it. I thought, because, I know a couple of people with OCD, like, it's a nightmare. You go around there, like, they say,
but they're putting them up. So how long do they think we're going to be like this then? Or are they trying to get the next... Yeah. Are they putting the next bit into place? So coronavirus and everything that comes out of that is the next stage of what they're going to do to us.
Yeah, well, the thing is, like, people have got to wake up and realise all this stuff. I mean, it's like I said, they try to turn everyone into sort of like OCD bloody people.
Zombies.
Zombies. That's what they're doing. Yeah, it's absolutely incredible. I mean, it's beyond a joke. Like I said, I mean, I still watch TV only because, like, I find it hilarious, and I just pick up on things all the time. And like I told you, I've actually done like a bit of acting, like, and I was a pantomime dame once, and I know how difficult it is to remember your lines all the time. That's why I know all this stuff is scripted. I know it when I see all these things on the TV. And you know why? I told you before, Karen. You know why I know it? It's because they never get it wrong, and that is their big mistake. They should sometimes turn around and say, that's why they're so stupid. They should turn around and say, here, make a few mistakes this time, like, or like start mumbling, like, or stuttering or whatever. But they don't. It's always perfect. And it ain't like that. I used to get my lines wrong.
Well, I feel it's really strange that Boris isn't really telling us about the economy. The only thing is the national health and all that stuff. And,
it's just,
they've got no feelings in it because they filmed it weeks ago.
Of course they did. It's all done. It's all done ages ago, and you don't see him wearing his gloves or face mask. I wish he would, like, and because all the stuff that comes out of his mouth is rubbish.
Well, I'm not. When I see people with masks on, I went to shop yesterday, Tesco's, and this woman, she had day before yesterday, she had a mask on. And I was like, oh my God. I mean, in a sense, like, imagine her. She works in Tesco's. Imagine the amount of people she's going to see.
Well,
I was just like, no, don't do this.
I just went in Iceland, and a woman there, like, has got a mask on, and she's trying to talk to me, like, and I didn't hear what she was saying. I said, when's the next time we can get some rice in? and I couldn't hear what she was saying. But better than that, I see a geezer a couple of days ago, and he had a World War II gas mask on. You know, like one of them ones they wore that covers up your whole face.
Oh my goodness!
I had a look away, and I thought, "Gal, don't start laughing, please." That's the trouble with me. I find things hilarious, like, you know, I find life in general hilarious, you know, and this to me.
I don't find this very hilarious. They've managed to shut down the world in 2 weeks, really,
it's wrong.
and we will never ever be the same coming out of this. Many people will have lost their jobs. They'll have caused misery. There's probably going to be a baby boom.
This is the bad part about it. I mean, the thing is, you know, I'm laughing and joking. There's serious parts about this, you know, with people like losing their jobs is just terrible, you know, it's so awful. And I know a lot of my friends in the same boat. I mean, I've got cab driver friends, I've got friends from all different walks of life that sort of like, it's probably never going to be the same for them again. And you know, I just
you imagine, like, I've lost my job. One of my sons has lost his job. That he's a roofer and I'm a cleaner. It's not like when it's over. The moment it starts fading away, people are going, "Oh, well, the ones that already have me will have me back." But it's not like someone will go, "Oh, I fancy a cleaner right now. Oh, I fancy getting my roof done." When you're coming out, they're not talking about the recession, what it's doing to everything worldwide. They've just closed everything down.
Can you imagine? Like you know, people sort of like might think, oh no, I don't want Karen back now to do my cleaning job. You know, I do it myself. I'm too worried. I mean, there's been some awful stories about. There was one guy that worked for the NHS, and he got a text at work and said, oh, you're not allowed to live here anymore. His landlady said, oh, I don't want you living here anymore in case you give me the virus because you're mixing with people. So the poor bloke was homeless literally that day. You know. And there's some horrible stories like that.
Yeah, there really is. And, you know, what about all the little companies that are going to go bankrupt right now? Who's going to buy them? Somebody will be buying them, and then they'll be part of the big business.
The big corporations can take everything, aren't they? You know,
and they're not they're not showing us the other side with the money side. You know, like with the businesses. But Gary, do you think we've done enough, or do you want to carry on for a little bit longer?
I think so. You know me, Karen, I could carry on talking forever, but I mean, as I'm in a bus shelter, like, you know, maybe I better sort of like curtail it now. But I've really enjoyed it. It's been a lovely talk, and I hope I ain't bored too many people. I mean, you know, I could carry on talking forever.
Do you know what you need? You needed a megaphone. She touched the food. Get away from her. She touched the food. Get rid of the food. It's disgusting.
Well, what
it's
I might do, I might sort of like just see if it's possible, as soon as it's all over. I'm going to try and do it now, like, see if I can get another tattoo, like, and see if it's possible to get a tattoo at the moment, because I think it'd be practically impossible forevermore. I mean, apart from people like me, like, that don't care anyway, like, you know, who's going to go to a tattooist? I mean, I had it hard enough as it is. Now it's going to be...
Well, they brought another one up called Hunter virus, but you can only get that from rat feces, and you'd have to touch it. But it's a virus, and we want to know the truth. Can it... So, like, 200... This TV station, when they put their posts up, maybe 10, 20, 30,000 watch it. 260,000 people had watched that post. They're Indian, so it's a bit like Sky in India news. And I was thinking, oh my God, they're going to believe it. Another virus. Oh my God.
I mean, viruses ain't what they tell us, are they? They're like, it's completely sort of like different than what mainstream media have told us. But of course, a lot of doctors now are coming out. I've seen a few things like stateside where they've turned around and said, like, you know, viruses are not what we've been taught at all, and you know, there's no.
Yeah, a lot of people are saying that we can't catch viruses.
No, we certainly can't.
And then I was wondering whether the virus obviously is something else that they're doing. You know, like it's obviously part of something else, which is probably a monetary thing.
5G or something like that.
Well, this guy wrote on my channel, I made a little video about it, that we've got 5G in our routers, and in fact we've been using 5G for a long time.
Yeah.
So maybe it's...
Like a twit,
or are they plugging us into CERN? Are we being plugged into CERN or something?
Maybe they're trying to turn us into robots, and they, you know, we're halfway there already. I mean, it's just making a completely loveless society, isn't it? It's
narcissistic.
Yeah, absolutely horrible. But,
I can't wait for the day when they go, and maybe it's coming, because I think this is why they had to do it, because, you know, for instance, you know, obviously this video is going on YouTube, but YouTube are owned by Google. Google are the ball. They've been watching us for a long time. They know the people are awake.
and the thing is, it's getting out there. What you got to remember, like I told you before, you know, people will turn around and say to me, here you go, how comes this only just happened? I said, well, actually, it hasn't. I said, like, you know, I know a geezer. I know a geezer's 100 years old, like, you know, and he's still got all his faculties. And, you know, he was telling a lot of the stuff that we're talking about now. He said, you know, there was people out there, they were called conscientious objectors. They didn't like killing people. You know, I mean, I'll be the same. I want to kill someone, like, for some psychopath sitting in a back room smoking a big cigar. You know what I mean? It's like, it is what it is. You know, it's always been there. It's always been there. But it was, you know, in the Second World War, they were conscientious objectors, and they were called cowards. Well, I don't. I call them awakened people long before their time.
We don't know what the truth was then, because they've had all those years to change the truth. Like the other day, just as this is really kicking in, so 1967 film with Donald Sullivan's turned up. Spanish flu had turned up in my box, and Spanish flu's like a worse version of what we've got now. They never talked about us having a great big recession then, did they?
And if you notice, like, the Marsh almost is exactly the same. See, everything's reinvented. The Marsh in that 1918 Spanish flu, they look exactly the same as what we've got now. But I'll tell you what I'm going to try and do, Kay. If we can still travel, I'm going to try and get hold of this bloke. I know he's 100, like, and he's as bright as a button. I'm going to try and get somebody a bit more computer literate than me, and we'll have a little interview with him, because he can tell you a thing or two. And the thing is, what you got to remember, that guy was born in, if my maths is correct, 1920. That bloke was born, and I'm sure he's got loads of things he can tell us.
Yeah, brilliant. Okay, Gary, that'd be great. We've been going for 25 minutes now. Do you think that's we're ending at a good point?
I think so. I think so, because you know, it's like people are looking at me coming to a bus station. Like they think I'm round a bleeding twist.
No, you're not, Gary. Poor Gary. Gary, I rang him up, and he said that he'd been watching the video about this, about how they're making us a narcissistic society. And then he started talking to me, and I said, "No, wait a minute, I've got to go record it." Anyway.
What's that, mate? Yeah, because listen, start growing your stuff in your garden, because I'm just talking to a young man here, right, Cam? This is on YouTube, what I'm talking about here, and he's just saying, we just waiting to get on the bus, and I can't keep him for too long. He said he wants to grow his own food. Do it, mate. Yeah, dig the dirt on my hat. And he said, lovely, bruv, take care, have a good day, yeah?
Bye.
Right, listen, Karen, anyway, it's been nice talking, like, and we'll have a chat again, like, you know, about.
I'm going to stop the recording, but I'll say goodbye to you afterwards. Don't go. I'm just going to stop the recording. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. See, Gary out on the street telling you what's happening.
Galactic Gal, Gary Galactic Gal, yeah.
All right, my darling.